Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast Show again. We've got an exciting guest today. How great would it be to be able to joyfully be lucrative and, filled with money? And, here's the thing. We all know the minute you hear it, if you get your critical analysis little brain out of the way, that would include me, all of us, our little brains out of the way. The minute I say, joyful, lucrative opportunities everywhere. It's all they're dancing together. They're having friends and making lots and lots of friends. You would say, you're absolutely correct. I can feel that energy. But the next second, your mind's saying, I don't know. That sounds like a bunch of BS. This can't possibly be true. Dive in, stay in connection, learn how it is true. We're going to get into it with Anick. Anick, it's great to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. I love your enthusiasm.
Sure, it's my pleasure always. All right, so let me share more about you. Anick Patry. She gave me the pronunciation in French and in English. So Patry is a intuitive business mentor. I didn't know which way to go anywhere. Voice healer. My brain was sticky on that. TEDx speaker and international best-selling author who has created her own unique modality. It's called voice tapping. It's trademarked voice tapping. That's fascinating. One of the reasons why I'm having her on the show today, she has spent the last 15 years teaching thousands of awakened women and a few men globally to create lives beyond their wildest dreams. She's very, very cool. Very cool. She works with everybody that's a fit, obviously. So Anick specializes in helping empaths and conscious leaders to embody their highest lucrative joy so that they can grow their business with ease and flow, make more money, and have way more fun. Her work is just powerful, amazing, creative. It moves through old beliefs and the cellular level and everything else. And she helps you to become into balance and inner harmony and be the badass you're born to be. And more. So, and all that's what she's going to show you. She's a badass with joy. So we're going to get into it right now. I think so fun to have you on the show. I love fun people. I love to have fun people on the show. So grateful you're here.
Oh, bless. Yeah, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you at Spiritual Rockstar. Yeah.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. Let's talk about it now. All right, get down to this thing. What's this whole thing about, this whole pathway of lucrative joy and everything? Why do you? What brought you into this work? You just seem like you have this lightness to you, this playfulness to you. My guess is it hasn't always been that way. I think we've kind of talked about that maybe even last time we chatted. But did you have the experience? Because some people are listening, they're thinking, yes, that's me. I want that. I want more of that. And I got other people saying again, like, oh, that's not possible. I'm so heavy. I'm so depressed. Everything's more serious. And we all get in that energy sometimes. So tell us about what led you into this work. Was it in part like that maybe you weren't so joyful and everything in the past, or what led you into it?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's an important question. I guess what you see is what you get. We're way more in tune that we can imagine, and I imagine your audience is highly sensitive and very in tune and very conscious, and so you can't go against your true nature. So basically, we come with a lovely programming. We get program in the womb where our mothers are pregnant of us. We're already getting some programming on how she feels. You feel it all. And then you come, and from 0 to 7, you you get conditioned and bombarded with all kind of printed experiences, traumas, limiting beliefs, fears. And so my true nature is pure joy. My true nature is pure light. Is what you see, what emanates from me right here, right now, is who I truly am. Pure joy, pure love, pure light. And that's what, in essentially, that we have like a blueprint, a soul blueprint of our essence, our core essence of who we truly are. But as a human being, you know, we get influenced and we get conditioned and programmed like a little robot. And that's what happened to me. I had PTSD. I was fairly depressed. I was fairly suicidal. My mother was really angry person. Most of the time she was in that kind of energy of being shut down, being angry. So this is what I've received. This is what I modeled. This is what I lived in a box. You know, you live in a house with these people and you don't know any better than that. So I really shut down a lot of my psychic abilities, my heart, my joy, my creativity. And this is who I truly am, because my work is based on 3 pillars: self-leadership, intuition, and creativity. That's the basic of the foundation of my work. And I have a bomb of joy, you know. That's my true nature. I love to play. I love to you know, there's 4 P's in my also in my work, like how I live my life with pleasure, purpose, you know, pleasure, purpose, passion, and power is super, super important, the 4 P's. So so yeah, if you don't have fun, you're not at the right place, basically. If you're not enjoying your purpose, your mission, the work that you're doing, it's time to shift. It's time to go somewhere else. So I peeled my onions. I've been going through a lot of peeling the layers and letting go again and letting go of more. And you know, it's work in progress, but I can say now that I own my joy. I own my power. My joy is assertive. You know, my true joy is sexy, is powerful, is assertive, is embodied. And it's a journey. It's a journey. I would say it's a massive journey, you know. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's for sure, right? It's not for the, and I think that's something that's important, because this whole, I love that you shared everything. You're right. This audience is sensitive, they're empathic on average. Of course, you know, I doubt anybody isn't, to be honest, that's listening in, but I guess there's different folks that listen in. And I love that you talked about the family you grew up in. I just recently came to the realization of, it's tough to say because I don't know who's listening. My family might be tuning in. Like, what did you say? Like, you know, who knows? I always wonder about that, but I doubt it. But in my family, like, my sister has some issues. And I don't want to get too detailed, but like, there's issues in the family, and there's energies going on, and I was anxious. I was depressed eventually. Like, as a kid, not so much. I was always called happy-go-lucky, because I think I was sort of balancing the family. You know, it's like, you guys seem more tense and a little more serious overall. My dad was a little bit funny and stuff. I mean, not entirely, but you know what I mean. It just, things seem a little too serious in the world. Everybody's too high strung. So I'm like, whatever, you know, like a little bit more like that. And then yeah, my sister showed up as more like the issue, or you know, later on in life, especially as she got a little bit older, the problem child or whatever. And then I was the youngest, so I'm the little prince and all this sort of thing. And so anyway, but my point is once I hit my teenage years with the hormones and everything, but on top of that, it's you know, it's all that you're dealing with, right? And then that usually it's like, okay, you're a guy, now it's time to chase all the girls and everything. And like, okay, I'm not just a some sex machine or something, like looking for women or something, like I just wasn't of that. I wasn't of that mindset. So I was weird that way, to at least the way most guys talk at that age back when I was growing up. So I'm saying a lot about me right now, but I think this is important, like looking at where you came from. But my point is, I think a lot of the heaviness and depression, I'm not saying it was them, but it was something inside me. But that if I know, like, the environment of being with people with a heavier energy, I know had an effect on me. I mean, I know had a heaviness to me. And
Yeah.
so even though, like, some of those people were being supportive, and when I'm not trying to, demean anybody here, but I'm just saying there's a heaviness. And when we're empathic, it's tough. So it's tough on that level when we work with people. If we take on clients, like those, most of the people are wanting to be in business or are in business, doing healing and stuff like that, coaching. It's tough when you got those heavy clients. I say sometimes people have a client of one, and it's their spouse and they're heavy, or their mom or whatever, and or their kids. It's heavy. It's heavy. They like take care of them all the time, or someone that needs their help. So, we care. So it's important to take the journey you're talking about. How do we drop the heaviness? First of all, so we can be in our own sovereignty. I know you're all about that. And then how can we allow ourselves to feel joy? I know I found my own pathway with that, but yet I feel tremendous heaviness at times. But I found my own pathway for that. Um, yeah, and I'm curious how you found yours. I mean, you kind of talked about the path, but now I'd love to break it down more. Like, what are the things that you started focusing on that kind of broke you out of, like, almost like like you said, PTSD, like getting bombarded with all this energy, right? And like you must have learned something consciously and unconsciously, maybe, that helped you to shift out of that and shift into your sovereignty, and then more into your joy and all that sort of stuff. So I'd love to hear that journey.
Yeah. Beautiful, Daniel. Thank you for sharing about a little bit of your family, because we all, I mean, I believe we chose to come here on planet Earth, and we chose to when we choose to have a human experience, we're spiritual being having a human experience. We chose to really go through the whole range of emotions. And when you are a healer, a transformational leader like you and I, you really have to go through the range from depression all the way on the top to like joy, bliss. They're like, according, what's his name, David
Right,
Hawkins.
Hawkins, yeah, the scale, yeah.
He's a phenomenal human being. He's really interesting man who talks about, and Abraham Hicks talks about that. They talk about that as well. The different level of vibration, of frequency, different emotions that we experience as a human being, and to be able to teach, to facilitate transformation, you need to have an embodied experience of all the emotions. And so like, to protect ourselves, like for me, to protect myself, I developed a big cognitive, like a big intellect. Like, I was really smart at school. I was trying to perform to be loved, because that's what I felt like. I was loved by my dad when I was performing at home, when I was having good score. So I was in my head a lot. And where it's really not who I am. I'm a sensual, I'm a shamanic, like I love dancing, I love singing, I love being in nature. As you can see my background, like I love nature. I'm a very physical person, but I played this character and it cut me off completely to my true nature, to protect my heart. So when you ask me, my path to joy has been through dance, through singing, through, hence the modality I've created, voice tapping, through being in nature, and to really the masterpiece, like the sacred piece of my work, is to really connect to the heart. And that's the place we've been hurt, and that's the place that we protect ourselves. And when we cut off, we're not in the heart. And when we don't feel everything, it's impossible to facilitate transformation, to transform yourself, to become that beautiful, free, light butterfly that you were born to be. To break the cocoon and to go there. So you need to open your heart, and that could be scary. That could be really scary. So that's the first thing in my lineage that I've transformed is to tune into my heart, to feel all the emotions. And they're not pleasant always to feel, they're not fun. They're not fun to feel, but
Right.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important.
Makes sense. Does that resonate? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm trying to, because I'm trying to get into this. What we are doing is we're focused on this pathway to joy for people
Yep.
too that feel incredible heaviness as empaths and whatnot, because it sounds great. Yeah, I'd love to be like, we fun, joy all the time. And I think sometimes it's like, well, I know if someone had told me when I was in serious depression, like, hey, just get on with it, start having some fun. Why so glum, chum? Turn that frown upside down. Most super depressed people are probably think F you, like, right? If you're really depressed, right? So like, or just leave me alone, or doesn't, or I'm a loser, or whatever. Like it go different ways, but it'd be like it wouldn't take, because you're just so depressed. You're like, well, it's a good idea, but you don't understand how I'm feeling and stuff like that. So I guess I don't know. Maybe there's some people listening that are feeling particularly heavier right now that I'm sort of guided maybe to approach it this way, because there's a lot of us that are talking about the joy train these days, but we also want to address like, hey, we didn't start there. We didn't start there with all the. I mean, maybe we did when we were really young, but like we didn't start there in terms of earlier on in our life. At some point we got disconnected, and then we got caught up in the density, and it's gorgeous and beautiful in its own right. It's got its own goodness in it. And I also feel like we can experience lightness and joy with everything once we start being able to connect more with the lightness and joy in our energy and in our heart and all those types of things. So what's your take on that, Annie?
Yeah, well, it's knowing yourself. It's really a journey into your own sacred heart. Once it opened, like for me, I had a few challenging events in my life that gave me an opportunity to go within. You've got to go within. It's not external, it's not superficial, it's really going within, a self-inquiry of who am I? What am I doing here on this planet? What's the meaning of my existence? And these were really big questions for me. So like from teenage time, I was really asking myself, what's the meaning of what am I doing here? I'm like, I don't really want to be here because I feel shit most of the time. So, it's not fun. Like, where's the fun on this planet? You know what I mean? So I went on, like, I've always been a truth seeker. I travel the world. Like, I live in Australia. I'm French Canadian from Quebec, where it's freezing cold right now, minus 30 degrees Celsius, like, full of snow. And I crossed the planet on hitchhiking on boats to come externally. I was looking externally for warm people, for, the sunshine, the light. I was looking externally, and eventually I traveled within. I stopped traveling outside, like traveling the world. I had a lot of fun traveling. Like it's been a big part of my self-discovery to travel the world. But you can do it there's multiple ways to find your joy. There's not just one pathway, but I certainly discovered a lot of tools to help me knowing myself better and respect myself better, and do the things that brings me joy, that activate my inner joy. You know, I love sharing. I love public speaking. So I find myself on a TEDx stage, speaking to, you know, in front of like 500 people, talking about inner joy. And we do teach what we need to learn the most. So when you put yourself in these experiences step by step, I mean, I didn't land there at the TEDx just, you know, like that, but I had a vision for 2 years. And, you know, from one thing to the other, I took the steps to meet the founder of the organization. And, you know, from one thing to the other, I manifested it, because we're manifestors, we're creators, we create our experiences day in, day out. You know, every breath you have, you take, every thought you have, you creating. Like Daniel and I right now, we're creating an experience for you. We're having these conversations we never had before. You know, it's a co-creation. So to remember that you're the creator, and how you feel about yourself is everything, how you feel about you.
Mhm.
You know, it really, by acknowledging and stopping making yourself wrong. I'm so bad if I haven't made that amount of money this year with my business. Wrong. No, 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 no. You know, compassion, being a compassionate human being will help you to embody your highest lucrative joy big time.
Mhm.
Being a good friend to yourself, becoming a good friend to yourself.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, what are you going to do? You just go to the computer and be like, ah, thinking about how you're not making enough money, and then you just keep creating more lack anyway. Like, it's not where is it? Oh, make it happen, make it happen. Go, go, go.
No.
Right? I mean, I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but like, that's
Just a
the
little
energy
bit.
people get, right? I mean, I mean, it's been a while since you've been in that sort of energy in your life, but like, that's where people go, right? This is where we get caught up. Like, oh my God, how's it going to happen? Where's it going? And even people are doing well get into that energy, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God. So, I mean, I just have some fun. I'm bringing in some levity now because we get really worked up. And I think being playful about it and exaggerating it like I just did can break you right out of it. You're like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's okay. Right. So I don't know. I find it works for me anyway.
Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Because at the end of the day, you know, like, I love the silliness that you bring. It is, yeah, shake it all out. Have a little silly moment with yourself, because everything will, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna be fine, you know, in this human life.
Yeah.
The universe has your back. You need to develop a way to dance with the universe, to really you know, not trust, but have faith, and step by step, tuning into the vibration of what fills your heart with joy, doing the actions that are inspired. You know, that when you feel inspired, inspiration is very connected to joy. You got to feel inspired by your life, by what you're creating, by who you're surrounded with, you know, your environment. There's a lot of little micro steps and little things around you that can amplify the vibration of joy. You know what I mean, Danielle? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. There's always so much. So what are some of the things you recommend for people to connect with their joy and amplify them, and to amplify that vibration of joy, to amplify it?
Yeah, well, like for me, I'm a ritual kind of girl. I love my rituals. I swim in the ocean. I love the ocean. So I would draw a circle in the sand and put myself in my golden circle of light, of excellence, and admire the ocean, and then go and wash away anything. Like if I had a challenge in my day, I usually go for a swim around 4 or 5, because in the middle of the day it's really hot right now. It's summertime here in Australia. So I go and I wash away, cleanse myself, letting go. So if you don't have access to an ocean, I mean, there's a lot of things you still can draw your circle and your carpet in your house, like put your crystals around, or a bunch of cushions, and draw your golden light of your circle of excellence, and step into that, and have a dance. You're gonna have a dance, have a boogie woogie. If you love singing, if you love dancing, putting the lovely music that you love. I love singing. My prayers, I pray every day. I pray, I set my intention daily, sing them along, today I'm gonna make 10 grand, or today I'm gonna meet the man of my dreams. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Have fun with it. Create a little ritual that feels juicy to you. It's like we all I mean, making love. I love making love. I don't know about you guys, but I love making love. So, like make it fun, like making love to yourself. A little ritual that feels aligned with who you are, where you're at. Sing it, dance it, go into nature. I love that. Going in the bush, going to the ocean, drawing my circle, setting my intention, then going into the water. If you have access to a river, a pool, a lake, water is super cleansing and purifying. Get in the water and say, okay, now I'm letting go of that inner bitch, that inner critic that goes wrong, Anick, wrong, bad. No, I'm letting her go. I wash that away, and I allow my heart to open to receive, receive the grace that life has to offer. Beautiful grace. I'm open to receive more of me today. So it is, so it shall be.
Yeah, that openness is really key, isn't it? It's like we are so busy being closed and defending against something, even when we don't think we are. Oh no, I'm totally open, and yet we aren't. So like we have to watch it. Like we act like, I think a lot of people think they're being open when maybe they aren't. Are you even open to receiving? Are you open to joy? Because in other words, like, oh, I don't know about being joyful. Can you be open to being joyful, right? It's just that whole thing, right? Like, just can we be open to something? Can you be open to 10 grand? Can you be open to meeting that man, or whatever, whatever it is, like all the jingles you're doing.
That woman in some cases.
Right. So just, can you be open to it? Yeah, I can be open to that. That makes a huge difference. Just, we think it's some big thing. I gotta make it happen. How am I gonna make this work? And how do you do it? And they're like, can you just be open to it? Oh, okay. Well, how's it going to work? Okay, you're not open yet. All right, just be open. Oh, then what does that require? Trust, breathe a little bit, have some fun. That's how I see it. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good point. Being open to whatever shape or form that abundance going to come to you. That love's going to come to you in different forms. Because I mean, there is shadow work. I'm not going to say that, I mean, it's all love and light all the time. As a human being, we experience the shadow work. Is important to do some shadow work, and to acknowledge the part of the brain, the I call them the different energies archetype, you know, different, like the people pleaser, the one who wants to be loved and we betray ourselves in that part. And then you've got the perfectionist who, you know, it has to be right, and, you know, I'm going to show up when I know, you know, I've got to take the next course and the next course, and it's never enough. And you know, you've got the prostitute, you've got all these voices in your head. It's important to acknowledge what is there, what's playing in the background. Like you've got to become conscious of your subconscious. Really, that's a really big part of the work of being a spiritual badass, a sovereign being, and a joyful entrepreneur. To embody that work, which is in my amazing program this year, 9 months container, embodying your highest lucrative joy. We're going to look at the shadows, at the subconscious. You have to face the music. You have to look at it. You cannot just be like la la land, I'm all, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that you step, you know, it's like it's a step-by-step process. It is, okay, to free yourself and to allow joy to become your primary go-to. Now that's my go-to. That's my natural. I love to play. That's my favorite thing to do. And who's playing? Kids. Well, you got to keep that inner child alive. If everything is too serious and constipated and like, you know, like if you play out of your constipated beliefs, I call them my constipated beliefs, it's not fun. You want to pleasure and play in your day-to-day life, yeah. in your and especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a soulful entrepreneur, you know, a business owner, and you're living your passion, not forgetting the pleasurable playfulness. It has to be part of the game.
Yeah,
you know, 100%.
Yeah, I think so. I believe in it. I mean, I look at like people are like, wait, like some people could listen to this, be like, these lightweights, Joy's on you. You put the foot on the throat of somebody, you push down. That's how you win in life. And there are still people that believe those sorts of philosophies to some degree. And I don't think they're listening in here so much, but you know, those ideas are around. I think it confuses people's subconscious. Like, what is it? Win at any cost, get after them, make it happen. Or is it we love and joy and a little shadow work and going deeper? And, you know, like everybody's like looking for formulas, but just what I love is you're like, yeah, just trust joy is more your natural way of being, like childlike, right? Because I think about it as being as kids, what happens to some kids anyway. I mean, at some level, in some kind of way, it happens to all of us. I think you're out there, I don't know, maybe you're playing a sport or you're playing something, right? Let's say you're playing a sport, just that's what I could connect to right away. Out there, okay, we're having fun, we're playing football or something, or baseball or whatever it is. We were playing baseball, here we go. And then some adult, some stern adult comes in, all right, kids, I'm going to show you how to really play this game. Oh, get in there. I watch that ball, you better not miss it. Also, this kid's like going from like, what? I gotta get serious. Like, and all of a sudden, like you're totally losing that connection. That's what happened, I'm sure, to me and all of us, to some way, somehow. You lose more connection to that just joyful way of being, and you got to get it right now. And I think a lot of it's from trauma, right? Because we've been hurt, and it's like, all right, I thought I was good, everything was good, I was being light and feeling good, and then boom, like the shadow monster shows up. So it shows up on the outer, right? I've done that at my live events. I used to do that. I turn off the lights. I'd be like, and this will be a perfect segue for you to teach us with the money, but I turn off the lights at my live events, my invincible 6-figure healer events, and then I would come from behind and come in. I go, I'm your money and you can't have me. And I come in, and they would be laughing, of course, because I speak in each one of their ears when I knew their fears were like, you know, you don't have much left. It's about to leave you. And so they practiced was so they could, laugh about it and also feel it at the same time and be able to realize, okay, it's just a voice. It's just a voice. It's just an energy. It's just a voice, and they just could find themselves back to just realizing, okay, I don't belong. I'm not controlled by you. I'm not controlled by this sense of this voice, telling me everything. Oh, you got to get it right. Or, I got you. All that stuff where we've closed down. Right. So, because that's the thing, you help people with their lucrative joy. So, yeah, okay, we're having fun until like, all right, the bills are due. Like, for some people, it's like, yeah, bills are due. Now, how much fun are we having? What about that money? And so so getting back into that, I'm sharing a lot, I guess, but how do we get into? I've done lots of classes with people on this actually, but what do you do to help people to get in flow with money in a joyful way? Because people are very serious about money often. At least they always go back there, it seems.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's in the development of in the evolution of our consciousness, it's to become aware that actually money is an energy. Again, it's an energy, but it's the meaning we attach to it. And we have a whole bunch of fears and limiting beliefs through our conditioning as human beings, through our programming in our families of origin, where we have learned a lot of traumatic experiences with having and not having, and deserving and not deserving, and being worthy and unworthy. And so there's a lot of traumas attached to the money, but money doesn't really exist at the end of the day. If you go to the bank and if you have $50,000 in saving and you want to go and get it, it's not there. Like, it's traveling, it's invested, it's like, I'm not an expert with money. I'm an expert in embodying your joy, but and in my belief, where I am now is like, I've been proven over and over and over again. Like, I'm coming from a family with a lot of scarcity mentality, and never enoughness, and but what life proves me, and what I realize is, like, there is always enough. Like, I always have everything I need. And that's more like, we're talking more about an abundance model living, like, holistic abundance, like to become aware that, like, you breathe in, you're always breathing, there's always enough oxygen to breathe, and so when you can actually start to train your mind around the enoughness, sufficiency, and open your heart to receive, you are stepping into a pathway that would help you to not be so attached to the stress or the conflict that you may have with your relationship with money. So yeah, it's really changing the way you look at it and the way you feel about it. So it's really opening up to the path of joy is a path of abundance, because like, I look through the window right now, I see a whole bunch of trees. I live in a big cities, but it's so lush. Sydney, Australia is so lush. There's so many flowers and trees, like, it's so abundant. And so what if it's the same with money? If I look at the green leaves right now, I can see a whole bunch of bills of $100. You know what I mean? And it's really reframing step by step, but reframing and practicing, and eventually embodying this vibration of, oh, there's enough. Yeah, well, there's food in the fridge. Oh, but I have a few you know, a few $100 or a few $1,000 or, you know, a few dollars in my bank account. Oh, well, that's not too bad at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Oh, well, you know, I can pay my next rent. Oh, that's cool. Do you know what I mean? It's this kind of energy you want to soften. It's really a big shift in softening, being kind and compassionate with yourself.
Mhm.
That's that's really leading you into a path of joy, a path of success, a path of abundance.
That's so great. Yeah, because what you perfectly keep coming back to that, because what's happening if you're judging yourself with money? I'm getting it wrong. What am I going to do? And it ultimately is a judgment on yourself, right? Or the situation, like, oh my God, I'm not making it in this business, or whatever it may be, or whatever the stories are. But usually it's lack of compassion for others or yourself, and really it's always yourself ultimately. If you think it's your job, then you're blaming yourself for being in the job ultimately. Like, why am I in this job? It's all my fault. I know that, but it's their fault. Yeah. So playing the blame game. But yeah, just realizing, wow, what if everything is here just to bring me back into self-compassion and love? And the more I can just be in that practice, and I actually find there is no real issue. I actually am totally prosperous. I'm totally abundant. I'm not reliant on what it seems like is happening on the outside. And I always say that it just so happens, right, that you tend to be more abundant with those things. I mean, it does usually take a little bit more attention to just being clear about what you want and letting it just happen. Basically, it in a way it is that simple. You have maybe I took all this action, I got clear, and everybody's got their fun way of doing it, right? Like how I love that heavy metal thunder music. Oh, I like country. That worked for me. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like people can, it doesn't matter. It's just that you're in love with it. Like you said, you're having fun with whatever you're up to, and it will lead you to prosperity and success. And I'm looking at the time of the show, like, man, we could go on forever talking about this awesome stuff. But yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I love that you keep coming back. And I always said that's when I discovered, like, me prospering in my business was really all about just loving myself in every moment. Like then it was so it's so like, wow, I literally, life is just designing itself for me to learn how to love myself. And that was a huge piece of freedom. It's not like I haven't dipped back into judgment. No, that's happened. But I'm saying, like, when you really start awakening to that, it's start practice, being in the practice of that, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's all, you know, it's back to the core is self-love, is really self-love, self-acceptance. It's really
Mhm.
where it comes down to
Mhm.
yeah, being kind with the self and patient.
Mhm. Yeah, let's talk about you've got some great stuff to share additionally with the audience today. And we haven't even talked about one of the things that you want to share with the audience. You have a gifts and whatnot, and one of the things you do is this voice, is it tapping, right? Voice tapping. So tell us about voice tapping and how you utilize that to transform lives. I'm like, what the heck is voice tapping, right? So you need to learn about that.
Sure, Daniel, sure. Thank you for asking that question. I yeah, so a long story short, I'll try to make it short. Time
Mhm.
flies. It's 5 years ago I had a near-death experience. Okay, I got really sick in Bali in Indonesia. I mean, it's not, I was already having a little bit of health, you know, my health was going down the drain. Anyway, I went to Bali and then I had a near-death experience there. It was pretty full on. And so I'm not dead. I'm still here. And I'm connected with upstairs. If you spiritual rock stars, if you're spiritual rock stars, connect. connected with Mother Mary. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And she came and said to me that I was not completed on earth, that my light was still needed, and I still needed to grow and expand and learn. So I said, okay, cool. You better support me now.
Right.
And so tell me the way, show me the way, and guide me. And so she's one of my guide. I channel her energy, and she's all about unconditional love and grace. So she's quite powerful. She's a spiritual badass. She's very powerful. And so I've always loved singing. As I mentioned, I love voice stuff, and like using your voice is very liberating. Like we talked about traumas and stuff that we have fears stuck in the body and cellular memories and in our physical body. So letting go of your voice, letting go of sounding is very liberating. Again, little kids, they do that quite organically, quite spontaneously. They let go of sound. They let the emotions move through. It takes only 90 seconds to process an emotion. So letting go of sounds. As adult, we tend to think internally in our mind, but not necessarily voicing. And it feels really good when you go, it's like when you're making love, you go, you just, let it out. Ooh, ha, ha, she, ha, ha, ha. And sounding is very liberating. And so I use the voice, and I also use tapping. It's influenced by and inspired by emotional freedom technique. I don't know if you heard of that tapping. A lot of healers and coaches are aware about tapping into different points on the body, different meridians, different energy points. It helps to free space, let go of an emotions. It helps with a negative, something stuck. You feel stuck with a limiting beliefs or an emotions. It really helps. So it's a combination of voice and tapping together that only Unique Anick does. And so I've done that for myself to liberate myself from ancestral traumas, from massive fear that I had in my nervous system. So that's been helping me a great deal. And I started to do that with clients 5 years ago. And, I've got a woman here, she's bought like a few $1 million house on the beach. It's her dream house. I've got people who met their soulmate, and some people doubling their income, or some people really tapping into their soul purpose, starting their business like with clarity and alignment. And so it's just a really, really powerful modality. It's not the only thing I use in my mentoring programs, but it's a really powerful modality that's really supportive and helping, so it's clearing, it's liberating. And then we reaffirm with what is really true, the deeper truth, to tap into the deeper truth. So all that work that's come through in a voice tapping, it's all channeled. It's not something that I write down and I pre-organize. It's all channeled. It comes through my vessel. And I do private sessions, and I do group work as well. Voice tapping.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know. Don't know if I've ever heard of anybody doing exactly what you're doing. I really haven't. I've heard of a lot of different things. I don't know if I've heard of that one. So that's really cool. You came up with that. It's TM did everything, so it's got to be unique. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, the idea of getting relief from doing things like sighing and everything is something that's fairly well known, but within spiritual circles maybe at least. But like the idea, just make these sounds, but to have it as a focus, like healing modality, more or less, like that's super cool. I really like that. So that's cool. Wonderful. So how can people take advantage of what you got to offer to help them with all your amazing wisdom and gifts and all that sort of stuff? I know you have a couple of things you want to share with everybody.
Yeah, sure. Well, Absolutely, Daniel. I've got a lot of magic, lots of beautiful programs and courses and things. But I mean, the first way, if you vibe with the energy that I emanate here, if you're curious about voice tapping, if you would love to know more about embodying your highest lucrative joy, the best way, you can find me on linktree.com/Anick Patry. So I don't know if you're going to put the link down below. Yeah.
Yes.
You can book via calendly.com/Anick Patry, ANICKPATRY. You can book a completely free, complimentary little one-on-one catch-up conversation together. I'll be happy to have a 15 minutes chat with you, see where you're at, see if we're a good fit. You can ask you questions about VT and all that. You can do that. And also you can get a free recorded voice tapping. If you would like to connect with me, you can connect on Calendly and I can send you that, or on email, anick@anickpatry.com. So I'm happy to send you a free recorded VT for you. So amazing gifts. They value $350, so it's high value. So I'm happy to offer that to your audience. And of course, I've got my my new program this year, a 9 months container for the spiritual badass who are ready for a 9 months container, embodying your highest lucrative joy. I'm happy to answer any questions. So book your call with me. I'll be delighted to have a chat.
That's great. That's great. So we'll put everything in the show notes. And as always, if you're not sure how to reach out, you can Google her. There's so many ways. Get on Messenger. She's there. She's got her email address, anick@anickpatry.com. There's so many ways. There's so many different ways to connect. Have fun with it. Come from an expanded place, hopefully, and just be like, hey, this sounds like fun. I want to explore. I want to play, and to trust it, to trust taking some steps with it and see what it see. Yeah, if you like it, keep going. Trust it. Just trust the process. Is my thought. So totally.
Yeah. Linktree is good. Linktree, I love Linktree because
Linktree, yeah.
Linktree/Anick Patry is a great place.
Yes. Yeah, we have all that below.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Absolutely. So we've got, we'll just spend a little time now. We're going to do a little tune in with Anick. So I'll do my quick tune ins with Anick. So you ready to receive?
Oh, exciting. I'm curious.
Cool. All right. Let's see what comes through. It's always fun. Let's see what wants to come through. Okay, here we go. All right. So let me just get a little center to share. Oh, okay, good. So just showing me the energy of a master healer. So there really is a deeper connection with source coming down into the crown chakra. And there's a real depth into it. And then the energy coming into your energy and your body initially for sure is nice, and can feel it coming through. So there's a master healer energy archetype here. And so I don't know if you we'll do one of these, you feel the energy and you do a boop, 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 and use your voice too with it, maybe. I can see you be, I maybe have more fun with it even than the way you do it, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not even as fun as the way you do it. But my point is, you just, it's almost like it's starting to sound like a light language. But anyway, just there's this rapid kind of way that you work with people. There's probably all different ways you work with people with the healing, but this is one fun way I see. And yeah. So I just see it as a fun way and gentle way of healing with people. So that's really nice. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I probably sound horrible compared to you, like my shadow guy, right? That scares some people. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. Okay, so they're guiding me to your throat. They're just saying volumes. So you've got volumes and volumes to speak. So some of the things you're saying are so beautiful and so amazing. And there's most of it is pretty simple, right? It's not like complicated. Man, I don't know what you're talking. This is really, man, my brain really needs to think to figure this one out. Like it's not like this highly intellectual is the point. So, but it's light, it's easy to receive, it's high frequency. And from your throat, what I'm saying though is there is not that you didn't do it today, you did, but like there's so much more. There's volumes and volumes of information, and I think it's a little bit hidden in your awareness. So I don't think all of it's in your full awareness. We all have stuff, right, that we're not aware of, but I think there's this thing where there's so much and you're not, there's bits and pieces that you've gained, but there's more like, oh, I know these, like, I don't know, the way it comes through is sort of like esoteric wisdom, knowledge, teachings. And I'm sure you probably already do it, but it seems like there's more. It feels like there's more wanting to come through. So I noticed that. Let's see if one more. For some reason, it's showing me, they're giving me the image of you being like the homeless sort of bag lady kind of vibe. And the message I seem to be getting is, hey guys, it's come on, just not such a big deal. Circulate the cash. Come on now. So I feel like this could be a past life, maybe, or something, but it's like you're trying to open people's hearts. Energy of it is like open your hearts, be generous, and you evoke that in people. People just naturally, I get it. Be abundant, be high vibration, be giving, be kind, be compassionate. It all works. It all flows. It just is. And so this archetype is in you, this sort of archetype. Be compassionate with the beggar, be compassionate with yourself. So you already said all these things, but this beggar lifetime I'm seeing is you're really service. And maybe there's something we can all gain from this. That's beautiful, that the beggars we see again are something inside ourselves or something in the world that's saying, open up, open up. Don't be so fearful. Just feel generous. Just give. Don't quit judging it. Just be open, circulate. So that's what's coming through on that one. Okay, well, I'm just gonna pause there so you can reflect. That was an interesting one, that last one. It's a little different. So anyway, it's fun though. So yeah, any quick reflections or thoughts on what was coming through?
Yeah, fascinating. Look, I feel I've been on a crystal bed, and I had like past life regression. So I've experienced all of the layers. If you believe in past life, experience, like I've been really, really wealthy, and my husband and my 3 kids have been killed, and it explained that I don't have children in this lifetime. But I also clearly experienced that being a homeless and being a beggar and touching people's hearts. And in this lifetime, one of my magic thing is I really touch people's heart. I really go right there. I help people to open the portal of their heart, like wide open, because I've cracked mine, and in my lineage they were closed, and it's a very powerful transformation to do that. So yeah, look, yeah, and my voice, and I felt a resonance, like I feel like there's other layers. There's more to me. There's even more to me. There's more to me that's going to come through this year. I feel 2023. I've been doing 2 group sessions, voice tapping, letting go of 2022 and welcoming the new energy of 2023, what your heart's desire in 2023. They were super powerful. And I feel like there's more of who I truly am, the sovereign Anick, there's more of me coming through this year. I can feel that. So it feels very aligned. It's super. Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much for sharing your magic with me. I love it.
Sure, sure. My pleasure. My pleasure. And everybody, if you want to check me out more, go to yoursacredpurpose.com. I do offer energy scanning, a Rock Your Sacred Purpose energy scan consultation. That's a little more focused on business. This is a little more of a just quick tapping in. But we do this cool stuff too as part of it. So go to yoursacredpurpose.com, get your Rock Your Sacred Purpose consultation, a real consultation, a real service, because it's something you actually have to invest in. So you do have to invest in it. So it's something that you know then that is valuable, because that's what I'm into. I want to be of value to you. And so check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. And if you're not ready for something like that, then you can get the free Meditate and Make Money, open up to the energies and the joy, and all, open the chakras. All that is part of it. And connecting with the money frequency and getting your downloads for the day, each day, getting stronger and stronger in the vibration of what really wants to happen in your life, in your business, etc. So check it out one last time, yoursacredpurpose.com. All right, Anick, so we're going to wrap this thing up. Do you have any last words for the audience?
Oh, so much fun. Thank you so much for this beautiful exchange, beautiful conversation, for, this, it's opportunity to be visible and to learn from you, and share my magic and connect with your audience. It's really beautiful. So thank you. And please reach out. If you resonate, reach out. We don't do this journey alone. Support is essential. We're worthy of support, and give yourself that gift to, if it's not with Danielle nor Unique Anick, reach out for aligned support this year, 2023. You deserve to be held and be seen and be supported. That's how it accelerates our healing, and we flourish faster, and we're blooming more when we feel loved, we feel seen, we feel heard, we feel understood. So yeah, that would be my word of wisdom. Don't hide in a corner, don't do that alone. Reach out for support. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, totally agree. 1,000,000,000%. Just continue to do what speaks to your heart, which you know to be true, and to be honest with yourself. What takes care of me? What will nourish me? And trusting it. Absolutely. So I just want to thank you again, Anick, for being an amazing guest. You're so amazing. Your energy does. It breaks people free and open in their heart and their joy and so much more. Thank you so much for who you are and coming on the show today. And yes, so I wanted to also say thank you to the listeners. So thank you to listeners. And as I always say, right, keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till the next time. Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.